Welcome to Spirits and Screams.
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to Spirits and Screams. I'm Karen, and tonight I'm going to have a look at a supernatural indie horror film called The Exorcists from 2023. When his child is possessed by an unrelenting evil, a father hires 3 expert exorcists to purge the demon and save his family before it's too late. Directed by Jose Prendes, starring Doug Bradley, Kate Hodges, and Denice Duff. Sorry if my voice sounds a little crackly. It's because I'm getting over a cold, which just snuck up on me last week and has knocked me off my feet. Finally starting to get back out there, but anyways, I apologize for that. This movie is so much fun. I love it. It's got supernatural, it's got demons, possession, everything I love in a film. And also, I own a copy of the DVD, so that's really cool. And I got a chance to interview the director and writer, Jose Prendes. And that's in my last video. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's a really lovely interview. He's really cool and lots of cool projects coming up as well that you want to hear about. So go check it out. So this one's put out by the Asylum, and I'm really glad that they put it on DVD, on physical media, for us to own. I think that's really cool that they did that. I guess it was popular enough that it got that release, and there is a bit of talk about perhaps maybe there being a second one, so I'm really hoping that that happens in the future and that gets released as well. I'd love to have a whole collection if there's a franchise of these movies, because I think they're a lot of fun and I think there's a lot of cool directions they could go with it. For me, it's really rewatchable, and it's one of those movies that I'm definitely going to grab at during the spooky season at Halloween and give it a rewatch, because I think that would be a lot of fun, especially if you have friends over and you know you're eating candy and I don't know, drinking or whatever and watching it. I think that would be a super fun time. Up front, there will be no spoilers in this review in case you haven't seen this movie yet. You know, it's pretty new and some of you might not have seen it yet, and I don't want to spoil it for you, ruin the parts, so I'm going to keep it kind of simple with this review, but I really do want to talk about it with you. Okay, you guys know I love supporting indie films. I think it's really, really cool. They work so hard to do what they do. And this film in itself is next level indie, in my opinion. Jose really outdid himself. And I'm really looking forward to seeing some of his new projects coming up, especially the one that was just out called Monster Mash. I'm excited to see that one. He talked about that one in the last interview that I did with him. And it sounds like it's going to be a blast as well. It's really neat seeing new filmmakers kind of do creative things and what they can come up with, because a lot of times they do things that are not mainstream and not cookie cutter, and they're super, super fun. In my opinion, really fun to watch. This one's story is very simple, but there are twists and really great effects and also incredible acting. Everybody very passionately put their souls into this one, so to speak. But they did. You can really see it. They really, really seem to be really enjoying what they were doing, and it showed. And it just made me captivated throughout and really fall in love with all the characters. And it made me want to see more, you know. I really want to see more films after this one connected to this film. I think that would be a lot of fun. So hopefully, fingers crossed, that'll happen down the road, because, you know, it'd be fun to see something really different. And it would be cool to see like an indie franchise kind of take off and, you know, go. That's always a cool thing to see. Another thing that makes this one really watchable is the fact that it's filmed in a mausoleum. It's very gorgeous, different, and really creepy. It really gave me the feel of, you know, people that go out ghost hunting to these places and do the spirit box and kind of like, or do seances or the Ouija board or whatever. It really gave me that vibe, and I thought that was neat that they brought that into a horror film that way, because, yeah, it could have been, you know, set in a typical exorcist kind of setting in a bedroom or something like that, but this made it really, really different and really gorgeous, and it made me, when you see places like that on location, me, myself, you know, because I've done on location filming videos before, like The Changeling, which was filmed here in Victoria, on the island. But I want to go visit that place and go check it out and see where things were filmed, because I think that would be a lot of fun, and that definitely does that. And I think when stuff is filmed at locations like that, that's a possibility that you can go visit those places, as opposed to a studio set, or, you know, maybe a private home or something like that. So that made it really neat to put it on another level for me. And I'm a very visual person, so it was just gorgeous, just gorgeously filmed, very haunting. One thing that I noticed too about this one, which is kind of rare, it was still very, very scary, but a lot of the film was quite bright. You know, and there are places where it gets darker, but it was still kind of daytime bright. And I think if someone does that properly, the director, that can be really amazing. Can be even scarier than if it's super, super dark. So I thought that was kind of neat. I don't know if that was kind of just a coincidence, because I know Jose was telling me that they only had 6 days to film, so a very short time to do filming, so maybe they had no choice and that's just how it worked out. But really well done in any case. Another thing I wanted to add to that whole idea is the fact that Jose's very meticulous about what he does, and it really shows. When you're that specific and accurate with everything that you're working on, the details are so amped up. It really makes a difference for us as the viewer watching it, and I really appreciate that. I know that's a lot of extra. I know even us YouTubers, we talk about editing and how hard it is, and it's a lot of work. But when we put that extra effort in for the viewer, I think it makes so much more of a difference. It shows that we care about what we're doing, we're passionate about what we're doing, and you know, that makes it worth watching. One other thing I wanted to talk about too was that Jose really, you know, obviously the actors really cared about him, because they just seemed to put so much extra effort into the whole thing and put their heart and soul into it. And it really, really shows. I think that's wonderful. It felt like they were almost like, even though they were thrown together so quickly, the 6-day filming thing, they just seemed like this little family together working, and I think that's really neat. So the plot goes that there's this girl, teen I guess, named Huxley. She's possessed by a demon, and she and her father works at this mausoleum, and they live there, I guess. And so she's possessed, and they've been trying a bunch of exorcisms on her, and they're not working. So they call in these experts. They call in a couple of priests and a woman who's a psychologist. They call in these people to try again, and everything kind of goes crazy from there, and it's really, really cool. So for the amazing cast, we have Mr. Doug Bradley, the one and only Pinhead from Hellraiser. Love that film. I love all the films actually in the Hellraiser franchise. I know I'm one of those people that's kind of strange, but I like them all. Watch my reviews. He's playing a Father Patrick Ryland. He's an elderly priest who's an exorcist. His last exorcism failed with this child who passed away, and he's pretty traumatized by that, but he's kind of talked into coming back at it because he's, you know, cares about this, you know, this girl. There's Denice Duff, who plays Sister Caroline. She's amazing in that role too. She's a little quirky. There's some stuff going on there, but I won't say anything else. We've got Kayla Fields, who's playing Dr. Olivia, who's very much a skeptic. She's brought in, there's stuff from her past that's kind of haunting her, but she's brought in to analyze the girl from a medical perspective, but basically told this girl's possessed, you're going to go through some weird stuff. And she definitely does. We've got Katie Silverman, who plays Huxley, the possessed girl, who's excellent in this role. The fact that she could wear those contacts the whole entire time, much respect, because I know that's a really hard task. I've done that myself before, and I could barely wear them for an hour to do a photo shoot. So, pretty kudos to her. We've got Kate Hodge, who plays the Baptist minister, and she's also an exorcist. She's a female exorcist, and she's very good in this too, and her and the father know each other from before. We've got Gabriel Pranter, I think his name is, who plays the dad, and I believe he's in the next film of Jose's Monster Mash too. We'll have to check that out. I'll be reviewing that one at some point too, once I see it. And we've got Victor Morena, who plays Father Cortez. And I apologize to anyone if I'm mangling your names. I'm really bad at pronouncing names. I gotta work on that. But in any case, a star-studded cast, really, really cool, really have a great chemistry together and do such a good job. I'd really love to see them come back in the second one if they do make a second one. I really hope that they do, because I'd like to see some of them come back and keep going with it, because I think that would be a lot of fun. Jose brought to the interview something really cool, the actual book of exorcism that they used to perform exorcisms with, the actual book, the Roman ritual. And that's so cool. So apparently this film was very accurate. The way that they performed the exorcisms was legit, the way that they would, in real life when they do it, I guess. And I thought that was so cool. I want to watch it again to hear it. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that they talked about was pretty legit and accurate. Like, for example, finding the name of the demon, of course, to expel him from the body. The psychological analysis to make sure that there's nothing else going on there, that this person is actually possessed. The manipulation of the demon through talking, throwing of the voice apparently is such a big thing. From what I've listened to or read, the throwing of the voice, it sounds a lot like how the stereo surround sound is now in movie theaters. When you get that, you can hear the voice at the back. Knowing that now, I'm going to be really freaked out when I go to the theater to watch a movie, because I know when I watched Evil Dead Rise in the theater, it was so well done. I really had to turn around because I felt like someone was behind me talking. So that's creepy, man. If that is real, legit in real life, and that's how things are, oh, that's so scary. That's so frightening. I would be terrified. I don't know if I could actually be a part of or be in the same room of someone that was being exorcised by demons. I think that would be so scary. If you believe it or not, I still think it would be scary. And I forgot to show this to Jose, but I have something pretty cool. I got this exorcism ring. It's actually legit exorcism ring, so I guess exorcists would wear this during the exorcism. I think it's really cool. I really like it. It's very heavy, but yeah, it's really cool. Pretty creepy. That's my thing that I have. So there's lots of little stories going on within the characters in this film, brings a lot of stuff together, opens it up for a lot of plot twists and stuff like that. There's even these teens that break into the mausoleum, and what's cool about it is daytime, and they break in and they're sitting down and they're having a Ouija board session together, and they, they're trying to contact a lost relative, and it gets really creepy, and it's like bright out, and it still makes it even more scary to me. So I thought that was really fun. And I forgot to say the sound is really good in this one too. And I find it interesting, the psychologist that's brought in, she's a skeptic, but not sure of herself, and so she's constantly trying to argue things away as being mental illness, and really odd things happen. She finally kind of gets convinced, and I really love that because it kind of goes back and forth, and I find that neat. It's a neat thing to talk about in real life because people can have that kind of debate, so it was neat seeing it in the film and seeing that kind of play itself out to the point where, like, of what convinces her, that this could be legit. Yeah, it's really interesting because apparently, from what I've heard, demonic possession is just that. It's this debate, this coercing into evil and bad stuff and giving into that through within yourself and struggling with that. And I think that's fascinating. Not to say that mental illness is not a thing. Absolutely. I think that's a thing. But I mean, what if sometimes, things that can't be explained or this kind of thing. I think that's very, very, very interesting. I'd love to explore that more. The setting and the way that the team of characters kind of all work together and they're kind of stuck in this place really gave me vibes of the movie The Evil from 1978, which I thought was really cool. Loved that movie. That was so creepy. It's this really big house that these people are kind of trapped in and going through ghosty stuff, and it ends up being really dark and sinister and scary in the end, but it really gave me those kind of vibes, and some of the effects kind of gave me a little bit of a feeling of the Evil Dead, the OG. To be honest, if I had seen this movie back in the 80s, I wouldn't have slept for days and days and days. I really wouldn't have. It would have freaked me out. I find myself now, I've watched so much stuff that I'm pretty desensitized to all of it. I think a lot of us are, actually. But this is pretty scary. I think if some of my friends that are not so into horror, or they like kind of base level horror, they would think this one was pretty creepy. And all I'll say is the reveal plot twist is pretty cool, and the ending is epic, in my opinion. But you'll have to watch it to find out. And if you've watched it, any of this stuff, let me know what you think in the comment section below, because you know I love to chat. So overall, I really enjoyed this film. It's got a good story, the great characters, it's beautifully filmed, and really enjoyable, captivating to watch. I think it's rewatchable, otherwise I wouldn't have bought it for my collection. And I highly recommend it. Also, Doug Bradley is phenomenal in this film. He really is. I really love him. I think he's so awesome. I think that Pinhead character that he created so many years ago, just iconic. And he's got a lot of talent behind him to make that happen. And I think it's really cool that he's still doing this kind of stuff, because I would think that horror films are pretty grueling. The makeup, the effects, the throwing punches and falling down and all this kind of stuff. I think it's, especially being filmed in such a short period of time. Come on, those are long days that you're filming and working. So I think that's really awesome that he still does it, and he obviously loves acting so very much. So very, very cool. Really, really great performance. So for my review, I'm going to give this one a spiritual sensation, a devilishly good time, a 4 out of 5. I highly recommend that you watch this film, and that you get it for your collection, because I think it's worth it. And definitely go check out Monster Mash and Headless Horseman. Those are 2 other films that Jose's put out. And I'll have all of that stuff and his links in the description box below for you to check stuff out, for sure. Hopefully we can get him back on the show again, maybe talk about Monster Mash or something like that. I'm not sure. We'll see. And don't forget to check out my last video, the interview with Jose Prendes, or Master Chaos, as he's known on YouTube. Check it out, because it was a really fun talk. I think you'll really enjoy it. Okay, you guys, don't forget to drop your comments below, because I really love chatting with you. It makes me so happy. It really does. And like the video if you liked it, because that helps me out a lot. And subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of stuff, because I've got lots more stuff coming. My art, my comic books, you know, the product line that I'm working on diligently, and more movie reviews and interviews and lots of stuff planned. I just want to say I love you guys so very much. I love chatting with you, and I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope that you guys have a great rest of your evening and rest of your week, and we will see you again really soon on the next one. Bye, guys.